Amida Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu.
Good morning, everyone. I was kind of afraid there for a while because it's such a nice day this morning that I figured a lot of people would be out and about. Like, for example, our grandkids, they're going to Descanso Gardens this morning. Such a beautiful day. But thank you for coming. I appreciate your attendance this morning. Let's start off. First of all, I'd like to thank Howard Hayes for subbing today for Kathy, our organist. And of course, for Kyoko Gibbs for the beautiful flowers in front of the O19. And for Alan Godo and Kathy Kumagai for streaming this morning's service. Would everyone please rise for a short reflective meditation that I'd like to read? Hard is the rock, soft the water, yet water wears away the rock. There's an old saying that if there is a will, even the attainment of Buddhahood is possible. No matter how little faith one possesses, if he listens earnestly to the teachings, he will attain faith through the compassion of the Buddha. Therefore, it is important that one listen earnestly to the teachings. Renyo Shonin. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Butsu.
Namo Amida
Namo
Butsu.
Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu.
You may be seated. At this time, we'll have sutra chanting on page 33, Sam Butsu Ge.
Busatsu Daimoryo Jukyo Butsu Ge Hogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Yode Enyo Nuyo Tosya Ichigatmani Shuko Enyo Kaishnonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyorai Yogen Shosei Murin Shongaku Daion Koryu Jipo Taimon Shojin Ammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shusho Keiyu Jintai Zennen Shobuten Hokai Ujin Jinno Kungo Gaitai Mumyo Yokunu Seison Yomu Minno Shishi Jintoku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Gangata Buten Taisho Kado Shoji Mihu Gedaten Fusei Joi Kainin Shojin Yode Sammai Chie Ijo Gosei Tokubuten Fugyo Shigan Isai Kuku Issa Dayon Keshi Ubuten Yakusen Nokuman Muryo Daisho Shunyong Odya Kuyo Isai Shito Shobuten Kunyo Gudo Kansho Fugyaku Inyo Goja Shobuten Sekai Bufu Kage Mushu Sekndo Komyo Shisho Kenshi Shokoku Yose Shojin Ijin Anryo Yoga Sabuten 国土第一公衆奇妙道場超絶国領内音義務等々大東愛民道達一切立法来生新年少女伊藤雅国経絡安穏公仏神妙聖雅神書没願の日力小小欲実法生存知恵無下上領子孫死が信行軽量紳士食読中家業精進民主不敬ナマナブナマナブナマナブナマナブナマナブナマナブ願に宿読平等性一切どんも大心恩よNamanda Buddhamanda Namanda 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 Buddhamanda Namo Amida Butsu Namo Amida Butsu Namo Amida Butsu Namo Amida Butsu.
Will the congregation please rise for Gatha Namo Amida Butsu on page 136. They remain standing for a reflective reading by Sensei.
When life is fair and sunlight gilds the day, when fortune smiles and flowers adorn our way, oft let us pause with grateful hearts to say Namo even though our way leads neath a darkened sky, and to our loved ones pain and death draw nigh, our tears may flow, yet trustingly we cry Namo Amida Butsu. Yeah, thank you very much. If you remain standing for a moment, and we will read the Shin Buddhist Life Principles from page 9 in the service book. Shin Buddhist Life Principles, please read along with me. And trusting in the vow of the Buddha, calling out the Buddha's name, I will pass through the journey of life with strength and joy. Revering the light of the Buddha, reflecting upon my imperfect self, I will strive to live a life of gratitude. Following the teachings of the Buddha, discovering the right path, I will share the true Dharma with all. rejoicing in the compassion of the Buddha, respecting and aiding all sentient beings, I will work towards the welfare of society and the world. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo. No. Hello there. Yes, as this talk goes on, it'll become clear why the title of this talk is Hello There. Good morning and welcome to the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. We welcome you to our regular weekly service, family-friendly service on the 23rd day of the 4th month of the 23rd year. As always, even though Jerry has thanked everyone, I want to thank people because the whole point is that people matter and that our relationship to people matter and not just what we do. So again, although Jerry thanked everyone, I want to thank Alan Goto for recording this service so others can see it besides those of us here. I want to thank Kathy Kumagai for additional tech support, Kyoko Okura Gibbs for the flowers and Nigene preparation, and this week we have a guest organist, Howard Hayes, and so call out requests anytime during the service. Thank you, Howard, for being here. Last week, I spoke with you about the 4 truths leading to nobility. This morning, I want to address the question of what nobility is. What nobility, integrity, goodness truly are, and what truly matters most in our lives. Now, there's a lot to be said about all this, but I will give you the answer, my answer, first. And then I'll try to explain why it's a good answer. So, my answer, what truly matters, what is most important in our lives is living with integrity, harmonizing as best we can with goodness, and this is true nobility. To live with nobility, harmonizing with goodness, having integrity. And this nobility is achieved by bonding with others. By bonding with others and eventually by bonding with all, this is how we reach true nobility. So having given you the conclusion, please allow me to work my way back from the beginning question and work up to this answer. And the beginning question is, what is true nobility? The Sanskrit term is Arya, and that's Pali. The Pali term is Arya, and the Sanskrit is Arya. It's one of the few cases where I prefer the sound of the Pali over the Sanskrit. It just flows better, Arya. And that was Reverend Will Masuda's daughter's name, Arya Masuda. So it's a fine word, but what is this nobility exactly? What it means, the exalted, that which is valuable, that which is pure. And there is perhaps a different concept of nobility in Indian and Buddhist culture than what we have been influenced by through Euro-American culture. In both cases, nobility is the name for a set of virtues associated with the upper classes. To be noble means to be like those people with all the money and all the power. Every society has various classes. Every society has a working class. Many societies have middle classes, and there's always an upper class. And the upper class is differentiated from us by having a lot more power and wealth. So it's natural that the rest of us sometimes look to the virtues of those who are so exalted in their position in our society. And for Europeans, the wealthiest class were considered the nobles, the people with the money. That's pretty clear. And the virtues that we're taught to copy from those nobles of the European tradition are elegance and refinement and subtle nuance in your way of speaking. Yeah, that's nobility for a European. Elegance. Subtle nuance in your expression. In India, in the Buddha's day, It was not the wealthiest class who were considered the nobles and who were dominant. It was the warrior class, the military class, the warrior caste, which named themselves the nobles. They called themselves the Aryan group. But the virtues of a warrior caste, the virtues of a class of warriors would hold up are a little different from the virtues of the wealthy European. And the virtues of the warrior caste in India are courage, valor, strength, giving of protection. It's very important. You protect others. Perseverance, patience, focus, mindfulness, all this is something that's needed in a warrior. You don't want someone on your squad who likes to daydream a lot. Be alert, be mindful, be here, be courageous, and by all means what we're here for is to protect others. So this is the nobility that the Buddha carried out of that warrior caste down into this casteless Buddhist religion where we're all the same. Again, Shakyamuni was a member of the Kshetras, the warrior caste. And so instead of the refined behavior that we see in the nobles of Europe, Shakyamuni and his students cultivated perseverance, the noble virtues of perseverance, virya, the protection of others. And protection in Sanskrit is kavaka. I'm not very good on Sanskrit pronunciation, but it's translated into Chinese and Japanese with a term you'll recognize, omamoru. So we're the only, I think we're the only Buddhist group from Japan that doesn't sell talisman. And an omamori is a talisman. It's some object that's supposed to protect you. Well, it all comes from the fact that the Buddha was of the warrior caste, and that's the highest virtue they saw. Somebody who protects others, protects those who are weaker, protects those who are endangered. So that's where this omamoru comes from. But we don't sell omamori, but we do believe in omamoru. We do believe in defending the helpless and the weak and the needy. We do believe in helping others as best we can. Again, omamori became a name for amulets and lucky charms, but it's founded on this attitude of helping others, protecting them from harm, to protect others from harm, fundamental virtue of the society that the Buddha emerged from. Now, in the Dhammapada, there's a lot of talk about what real nobility is and what false nobility is. And one passage, for instance, is verse 270 from the Dhammapada. One is not called noble who harms living beings. By not harming living beings, one is called noble. So in this passage, it's all down to whether you do harm or good for others. If you harm animals or people, you're not noble. And if you help animals and people, you are noble. Pretty straightforward. Shakyamuni Buddha and his students had worked to transform the meaning of some of these institutions and concepts they had from their warrior upbringing. So most of you know, maybe some of you don't. I'm guessing that I remember correctly that there's a wheel of Dharma on here? No, there's not. It's not. Okay. It's not there. That's the other one. That's that little podium that broke down. But you all know what a Dharma wheel looks like, right? It's a 8-spoke Dharma wheel. And those 8 spokes come to represent one way of explaining living as a Buddhist, which is proper perspective, appropriate thought, honest speech, harmless livelihood, mindfulness, meditation, wisdom. So those 8 spokes came to represent these qualities. But the wheel, some of you know, but you know what it was originally? It was a weapon. Shakyamuni came from the foothills of the Himalayas, and they built these big wheels when they were being attacked from India, and just rolled this big concrete wheel or stone wheel down on people. So it was a horrible weapon. But the Buddha looked at this, this thing, we kill people with this. Well, we could give it another meaning. It's got 8 spokes, we'll give it these 8 meanings. Right perspective, proper thought, appropriate speech. And just the same thing, with this protecting others. It's very important to do good for others. But instead of going out and killing those who are harming the others, we just try to protect them. We try to make things better for everyone if we can. Many of our concepts and icons, again, originally had military meanings. And The warrior caste, warriors at their best, become what Shakespeare and George Washington both called a band of brothers. That term comes from Shakespeare, and it was repeated in the Hail Columbia, the song that was played during George Washington's inauguration. So a couple sources for that term, band of brothers. Well, that is what warriors really must do. Band together as brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, gay friends, transgender friends, non-binary allies. We got to bond with everybody. Bonding is a matter of life and death for warriors. Trained as a warrior and a commander-in-chief to be, Shakyamuni took this noble virtue of bonding and made it the epitome of Buddhist living. The essence of the Buddhist path is to bond with others. Bonding with one another as we move forward in our lives is how we create a Sangha, a Buddhist community. At the most basic level, we create a Buddhist community by acknowledging one another. To acknowledge and accept other persons is to include them in your community. The simple act of acknowledging another is the foundation for the Buddhist community. The simple greeting of another person is the beginning of including them within your community. Now, some of you will remember the comedian Marty Allen, and his catchphrase was what I started with, "Hello there." He always started his routine with that. That is the voice of awakening. Hello there. That is the voice of awakening. That's all we can do is recognize one another. Hello there is the fundamental phrase that bonds the Sangha together. To encounter other forms of life as a Buddhist is to say to each of them, well, there you are, and I'm here too. You can say that to your best friend. Well, there you are, and I'm here too. You can say that to the guy at work who you don't really remember his name. Well, there you are, and I'm here too. You can say that to the birds that land in your yard. Well, there you are, and I'm here too. We unite as a Buddhist Sangha saying, well, there you are, and I am here too. Such simple mutual recognition is the beginning of awakening. Such simple mutual recognition of one another is the beginning of an awakening that can become more and more profound. Hongan, the vow of the Buddha, the fundamental promise of Amida Buddha, is the promise of liberation for all. The Buddha's promise of liberation for all is the ultimate form of bonding with others. We will one day join the Buddha in this work. We will soothe the pains of others. We will calm their anxieties. We will open out optimistic horizons of vision for them. We will do all of this and more upon thoroughgoing awakening. For now, it's enough to simply hail one another. Hey, there you are, and I'm here too. This is what I hope you will remember from today's little Dharma talk. We should endeavor to appreciate one another, but at the very least, everyone you meet deserves to hear, hello there. Please join me in Gassho. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Thank you very much.
It's been such a long time since I've been chair. I don't know what the next agenda item is, but I think it's announcements. Are there any announcements? Kathy's not here, Jeannie's not here.
Yeah, that's all we need to do. Yeah, thank you all for being in the service, and I'll just mention I will have the Tai Chi 1 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays I will also have a study discussion class at 10:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. and a meditation class at 6. And we'll be here next Sunday. It'll be April 30th, and we'll have another regular, weekly, Sunday, family-friendly service, and we'd certainly love to see you here and with as many members of your family as you can bring. So thank you so much for being here today.
And for those that have not offered incense, please come forward before you leave. Thank you for attending today. Appreciate it.